Hi, Betsy Bixby here, and welcome to another session of Thrive Now, where we believe every family business deserves to thrive. I'm founder of Meridian Associates and family business specialist, and so glad that you can join us. Actually, we're in a series. We've already talked about defining accountability. We talked about the first portion of accountability being actions and results. And this week, we're going to talk about behaviors, right? And so I've had you working with your superstar employee to understand, or another team member, to understand their why they're accountable. And then this week, you probably discovered a little bit about the process that they use to stay accountable and to be such a superstar. So I'm going to flip it a little bit and have you think about your problem child, okay? So who's that problem teammate? Who's that person that's causing you frustration? And so we're going to talk about accountability today in terms of behaviors. So a lot of times when I'm working with owners in our Empower program, they'll just say, hey, I've got this person, they're making me crazy, whatever it is, right? Well, behaviors are things that you can see. They're things that people do, right? And so we have to isolate, because it's never a bad attitude. It's always about the behaviors. Now, you may say a bad attitude is causing behaviors, but the only thing we can deal with is the behaviors. So what I find in family businesses is that when deadlines get ignored and when that kind of thing is tolerated or poor behaviors are tolerated, that's what actually starts driving accountability down, and that is poisonous within your organization. So when they say that, you know, it doesn't matter whether I do or I don't, they're very, very true, right? Now, you guys are all high-performing organizations, which I love. That's why we love working with you. But we want to take it up and ramp it up a notch, right? So how do you do that? You do that in two specific ways, so very, very easy. Number one, reinforce positive behaviors that you see. A lot of times, because you're such a high achiever and you expect that in others, you don't actually talk to them about how wonderful that is, right? So that's the first thing. Number two is you've got to address the negatives, okay? You can't pretend that they don't exist. When there are behaviors that aren't working in your organization, I don't care if it's a driver, a cashier, an office person, they've got to be addressed, right? So here's this very simple thing that you do. Number one, you list the undesired behaviors that you see. They come in late, they use poor language, whatever they're doing, right? You list all the behaviors. They don't clean their truck, right? Those kind of things. And then you make a list of what are the expected desired behaviors, right? And that's one of the things I love about Meridian events and Meridian's Empower program is we work a lot on helping leaders actually get very comfortable in these kind of scenarios where you can sit down with someone and say, look, here's the things that we're seeing and here's what we expect. And when you do that, you drive up accountable performance. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next session. We're going to talk about performance, because you want high performance and high results. All right, see you next week. Bye-bye.